Welcome to Dateine Schools, a presentation of the St. Clair County Regional Educational Service Agency with your host, Terry Harrington.
Welcome to Dateine Schools. Well, this new school year has gotten off to a great start. But you know, there's already several kids who are already looking ahead to next year because they have the dream of earning a college education. And on this edition of Dateine Schools, we have the privilege of talking with the president from St. Clair County Community College, Dr. Kevin Pollock. And we'll also get a look behind the Know How to Go College initiative here in St. Clair County with Cathy Busdicker and Gale Simon. But first, let's tune in to this edition of Education Update.
Thank you, Terry. Several members of the community are sporting new hairstyles thanks to students at the Academy of Style. The Academy, part of St. Clair Tech's cosmetology program, held a community day on September 18th, during which they provided haircuts for just $3. The Academy plans to hold a community day on the third Saturday of every month for the rest of the school year. The Academy is located in the Viking Square Shopping Mall on Michigan Avenue in Marysville. No appointment is necessary for Academy Salon services. Fall is a perfect time to visit the Pine River Nature Center. The bugs are gone, the weather is cooler for hiking, and the trails are decorated with the many colors of the season. An extra incentive to visit the Nature Center this autumn is the Lords of the Sky event being held at the end of this month. Attendees will learn about and observe several live birds of prey, including hawks, owls, falcons, vultures, and an American bald eagle. The Nature Center is on Castor Road next to the Goodalls County Park and is operated by St. Clair County RESA. More information about fall offerings at the Nature Center is available by going to the RESA website at sccresa.org. November is the month for parent-teacher conferences across St. Clair County. These are opportunities for parents to see their child's school and, most importantly, talk to their child's teachers. Educators recommend that a parent do a little homework before their conference. Parents should have some specific questions about their child, how he or she is doing in class, and how the parent can help the child achieve even more.
You should be sitting down with your teacher, and you've already should have talked to your teacher before this point, and by knowing what your child is bringing home from the class, you also have an idea of what they're doing or how they're doing academically. So when you go into conferences, to be prepared as a parent, you should also ask how my child's doing socially and how are they doing emotionally in class, and your teacher will be able to answer those questions. But when you get to the academic part, a good question to ask is, what does my child do really well, and what are the things that I could be helping with at home? Because your teacher will give you a lot of resources, and there's so many web resources that your teacher can give you those on things that your child needs to work on.
Most elementary schools schedule their conferences by appointment, while high school and middle schools are drop-in. Call the school's main office if you have questions about their conference schedule. Students at Woodland School put on their chef hats this month when they participated in the grand opening of the Training Table restaurant. The Training Table provides students with the skills necessary for proper food handling and preparation. Students also get practice in working with the public, as the restaurant is open 2 days a week to their family members and RESA employees. Students rotate between serving as greeter, cashier, cook, waiter, dishwasher, and other positions similar to what they could do out in the community. And finally, remember that Halloween is right around the corner. Be particularly careful that night, as trick-or-treaters may be more focused on candy than on cars going by. And parents, if your child wears a costume to school, make sure it is appropriate. Also, don't let your child take fake weapons such as plastic knives or toy guns to school. For Education Update, I'm Lisa Steinborn. Terry Harrington and Dateine Schools will return in a moment.
Hi, my name is Joe Staley. I'm a graduate of Central Michigan University and currently an offensive lineman for the San Francisco 49ers. Also, I love reading. My mother is a school librarian here in Michigan, and research indicates that students in schools with certified school librarians have higher test scores. When I attended college, I understood the importance of knowing how to research using the internet as well as the library, and school librarians taught me that. Does your student's school have a certified school librarian? If not, ask why.
Welcome back to Dateline Schools. On this program, our theme is talking about preparing for college, and what better place to start than our own college in our backyard, St. Clair County Community College. And joining us now is Dr. Pollock, the president at SC4.
Morning, Terry. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, sure.
Well, the new school year is underway. How's things going at the college right now, and how are your numbers this year?
Very good. You know what fall's like. Fall's a busy time. Our enrollment numbers are still very high. We didn't have a record this year. We set a record last year. But there's still significant, there's still a huge need for us right now in particular.
When you talk about records and enrollment, about how many students are attending SC4
About
now?
5,000 students
Wow.
will be there themselves. And then on top of that, what people forget is we also have workforce development. So we have another 1,000 or 2,000 people to go through that through the course of a year too. So probably 7,000 or 8,000 different people by the time we go through a whole year.
Is your enrollment a reflection of what's going on locally, economically?
Oh, most definitely. It's traditional when enrollments go way up, when economic times are very tough. And a lot of that is because people can come back in and be retrained. They can pick up credits. Last year we had 700 people from Michigan Works that came in. So it's an opportunity for people to retool and get ready again. So it's very common, actually.
Do you find that it's more of adult learners that are coming in, or do you still have a good influx of those recent high school graduates?
Oh, it's a mix. Nationwide, the average age of a community college student is 28. Ours is 29. But we have a huge influx of high school students that come right in, but then we have a real mixture of people. We had people from 13 to 83 years old there last year.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. And that's make it fun for you too, I imagine.
Oh, sure.
And your staff.
Yeah, sure. It's not a traditional four-year type of thing where you come in and everyone's the same age and looks about the same. And it's a real mixture of people.
I know there's still a lot of talk over in the state legislature about having our community colleges offer four-year degree programs. Right. Where do we stand on that, and what is SC4's take on it?
Our take is that we think that it's important that the four-year institutions are not the only ones that do four-year degrees. And what we're really talking about are limited. There's only 4 of them. The largest one being nursing. And really the big take on that is, for example, nationwide, everybody in this country lives within 25 miles of a community college someplace. So a lot of people that want to go in for a nursing bachelor's degrees are people that are already really well established in a community, and they would have to pick up and move to go somewhere else to get a degree to come back. It just doesn't make sense. The legislation was passed a couple weeks ago in the House to approve that, and it was approved, and now it's got to go to the Senate, and then from there hopefully to the governor to sign. But there are things that really that the four-year schools don't offer. Concrete technology, for example, concrete construction. So it's just one of those things that it's a niche, and I don't even know if we'd even pick up one of those or not. Sure. Because really our role is to find out what the community needs are and then serve that. So if there's the need for one of those, we would do that.
Well, it's interesting on the nursing part because SC4 has had a tremendous nursing program for several years now, and that's probably one of your bigger areas, isn't it?
Well, it is. But what's happening is a lot of the jobs are requiring higher degrees now. And so our students come out, our students do better than almost anybody on the nursing exams. When they come out, they're really prepared. And this would just give them a chance to do a little bit more in different areas. And sometimes it's that bachelor's degree, that certificate, the degree that moves them into a different type of job.
Now you have on your campus the University Center where you have a lot of the state's four-year colleges offering classes here. How's that working?
It's working very well. We have 9 different schools. We have about 11 different programs. The last one that joined us was Walsh, which had been on the campus many times before. It's great because there's so many different programs people can go into and never have to leave the area. I think people forget that sometimes. Sure. And so it's a wonderful opportunity to go into things like education or business or some of those programs, and you have the program right there on the campus.
So in essence, you're already offering four-year degrees.
We really are in a lot of ways. They're not technically ours, but they're really on our campus and available for people.
Well, if anybody was in downtown Port Huron and knew your campus this summer,
I know where this is going.
Yeah, they saw a lot of activities going on. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing this summer.
We had a massive amount of construction this year. Anybody that went by our parking lot noticed that. We tore out an entire parking lot area. It's interesting because really we had several things that happened at the same time, and we just combined them all into some massive projects. There was a sewer separation project, which the city mandated. That's not exactly fancy to talk about, but it was there. It had to be done. We also had in our north building the heating, ventilation, and cooling system. The HVAC system failed. It was very old, and it had to be replaced. And that's about a $3 million project. And at the same time, we had to finish our parking lot. It was really in bad shape. We had patched it enough times, we really couldn't do it much more. And so really the idea was we took advantage of that and we put a geothermal field underneath that parking lot that really is going to help heat and cool that north building. In the long run, it'll save us about $50,000 a year in heating and cooling costs. So it helps pay for a lot of things. It's much more green initiatives. We do a lot of those. But at the same time, it delayed the parking lot from being completed because they had to dig down so far and put a whole layer, and it wasn't just taking a parking lot and fixing it. But it was done and ready the day school started.
Well, that's great.
So, yes.
Now, I also know you have some energy savings that you do with some of your roofs on your buildings, too,
Right.
don't you? Yeah.
We have green roofs and a green retaining wall, and we have a wind turbine and a solar panels. And in fact, in about 3 weeks, I'm going to a national conference, which will be held in Toronto this year. And I'm speaking on a subject that's, in a sense, kind of new for me. I've done a lot of student services and student success models and strategic planning pieces, but this is really about going green and how are we doing it, and then how other schools can emulate the things that we're doing. We are actually recognized now as being one of the leaders. We have community colleges coming to us and asking us, how are you doing what you're doing?
That's incredible. And that also leads to the alternative energy program you're starting as a curricular area, too.
Exactly. This fall we have an alternative energy degree that's begun. And what I like about it is there's several branches that a student can go off into. But the first year is really the same all the way around. So a student comes in, takes these basic pieces for this, and then they can go off and really go specific areas in the alternative energy program.
Any other new programs that you're starting on the curricular side?
Not yet, but I have a feeling we'll probably have some things going through. Our faculty are doing a great job in what we already have, but we're always looking to make sure that we have, again, what the community needs are.
Sure.
So if there's something the community needs, now we will be moving more toward entrepreneurship and some of the smaller business types of things, because we are in the works of planning some things hopefully down the road that would tie that all together and help the community benefit from it as well.
And that leads me to another question. When I've had you on a radio version of Dateline Schools in the past, one of the things you mentioned, one of your goals for the college was to really be an economic leader in the county, not so much bringing in jobs, but helping to facilitate the bringing in jobs and that type of thing. How's that going for you?
I think we are. I think we're at that point. We're part of a larger scale economic development strategic plan. I sat on all those committees. There are specific goals in there that the college could be part of. We just actually, in the last 2 weeks, received an economic study that came in that used 2008-9 data, but it really shows the impact that the college has on the economics in the area. First of all, you could do financials. For every dollar a student invests in our college in tuition fees, they have in their lifetime a return of $3.70.
Wow. So
our local community receives about $12 million in revenue from our college throughout the time that we're there. Our last project was a $4 million project, and we try to use as many local things as possible. So we're a huge driver. And then the other part of that is helping this area become more educated and prepared for potential future jobs. So our real role is getting the workforce prepared, and we're doing that, but we also financially have a huge role in what we're doing. And we'll be doing more, hopefully.
Well, you brought up a key point, because statistically, St. Clair County is really behind a little bit in the number of adults who have degrees beyond high school.
And that's sad, but it's true. In a lot of I don't think there's a specific reason why. We certainly have many people capable of having college degrees. In our area, we use bachelor's degrees for usually as an example when we're comparing it. We only have about 15% of our population has a bachelor's degree. Statewide, it's over 20, and nationally, it's almost 25. And a lot of that probably came from the types of jobs that we had. You didn't require a bachelor's degree to do a lot of the work that was done. The jobs that are going to be coming in are going to require more college education. And it's not a reflection of anything else, but the mere fact that so many more are computer related or tying down some basic backgrounds that you have to have a stronger education in these pieces. It's not so much manual labor anymore. There still will be those types of jobs, but it's shifting. You have robotics doing things, and so you need to understand that better. So it's something that we can help prepare, I think, our workforce.
And I know something you've done to help prepare our folks and help those who enroll in your school to have success is you're participating now in a unique program called Achieving the Dream.
Yes.
What's this all about?
We're very proud of the fact that we're part of this. There's nationally, there's about 1,200 community colleges, and there's only about 120 that are part of this particular initiative. We had to apply to get in. Our college was looked at and reviewed. We just had the national people in this past week actually talking about what our projects would be. And what that really is, it's a data-driven system to help find where students are failing. So now you have data to prove what you need to do and how you can make adjustments. You know, it's a little scary for people because you're talking about making changes in a college campus, but we're going to do it in a way that really our students will benefit. For example, we just looked at some simple data the other day that showed that the percentage of our students that go in developmental classes, and what's the success rate of those people that are going in. But we also noticed a lot of people that took the test that said they should be in developmental weren't even taking those classes. So we have to look at that and say, well, why is that happening? And we have to tighten that up and fix that. It'll help us determine where we put our support mechanisms. Do we need more tutors? Do we need more advisors? Do we need to look at certain courses and really bump up what we're doing there? How can we work better with our faculty members so that they can help move people to the right places if they need assistance? And how can we eliminate all those barriers that sometimes we ourselves have actually put in place that we don't even realize we've done? You know, the way we schedule a class, or how we send out our bill, or when we do a drop-in ad session. Some of those all determine sometimes whether students stay or not.
Yeah, so, and one thing is pretty unique. You're one of 100 colleges around the country that's involved with this too, right?
We're very excited. I think one of the best things that can happen for a college is to have outside verification of what you're doing is the correct thing, and have people looking towards you as an example. And that Achieving the Dream thing led to another piece. We were invited to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which I was in Washington, D.C. about a week ago, and we were one of only 40 colleges nationwide that were invited to come to this discussion on where do we go with higher education. And it was really a series of colleges. We had to be nominated, we had to be reviewed, we had to go through an interview process to go to this. The Gates Foundation paid for the travel. But what happened with this is you had schools like ours that are taking initiatives, and the Gates Foundation is looking at how can they put money into something, but they want to see things that are working. So it was 40 college presidents sitting in a room talking about good and bad of what's happening in community colleges.
Great. You know, another initiative that you're involved with is the Know How to Go initiative here in St. Clair County.
Oh, yes.
And when we come back, we're going to be talking more about that with Cathy Busdicker and Gale Simon. So don't go away. Welcome back to Dateline Schools. On this segment, we're going to take a look at the Know How to Go initiative that's been underway here in St. Clair County for about 3 years now. And joining me, my special guests are Cathy Busdicker, Parent Liaison here at St. Clair County RESA, and Gale Simon, who is a higher education consultant here at RESA, but also a case manager at the St. Clair County Technical Education Center. And Gale, what is the Know How to Go initiative all about here in St. Clair County?
Well, the Know How to Go initiative is, first of all, it's a national, it's a state, and then we've also adopted it here at St. Clair County as far as an initiative to really create a college-going culture for our families and for our students and really for the community at large.
Is this something that all 50 states are involved with, or is it just kind of scattered throughout the country?
It's something that is a national initiative, so ideally all states should be involved, but at this point in time I believe there's a variety of different states. Now, particularly what those ones are, I don't know, but I know Michigan did adopt it this year.
Is it pretty widespread then throughout the intermediate school district throughout the state?
Yes.
Great. Now, you're a higher education consultant at RESA. What is your role, and then how does that interrelate with your role as a case manager at the Technical Education Center?
Well, my role as a higher education consultant with RESA is really in order to help parents, students, and the community as far as giving them resources and information with regards to really continuing higher education after high school. It's really a natural fit with my position here as a case manager and also being a guidance counselor, really helping students to pursue to be the best that they can be in the careers in which they choose.
Do you find that there's a good tie with the kids going to the Technical Education Center, going on to get advanced degrees once they leave high school?
Yes, in fact, many times students come into the Technical Education Center thinking, I'm not going to do anything after high school. Really not having that goal. Once they've kind of found their niche and their area of interest and they start to blossom, it's amazing because then they start pursuing and thinking, you know what, I really can do these things and I really can go on for my higher education, whether it be in the skilled trades or in college.
Great. Cathy, what is the role of a parent liaison?
Well, I think that really it seems, the title seems kind of fancy, and I've said that before, but really it is to just keep thinking like a parent. You know, our family went through this process with 2 kids, and I know that what we felt was that we got help from friends, and so kind of the parent-to-parent connection. And by the time, you know, we got through the whole process, got through the college search and application and into college, there was so much information to share. And so we used to share that kind of information with each other up in the bleachers and things like this, but it's all there. And so what I've done is kind of packaged it up in a little more tidy package, and then I keep thinking about what I didn't know, what my friends wish they knew, that sort of thing. So it really is thinking like a parent and reaching out to families to say, you know what, I think what you're looking for is this, or what the other thing that happens is that I want parents and families to feel comfortable to say to me, you know, what I didn't understand was this, and what I also need is information on this. So what about that? And so I can kind of think about it like that, head parents and families and students in the right direction, but then also continue to refer them back to their counselors. So I really am kind of that family-parent connection because, gosh, and for the most part, parents are the ones that pay for college. So we have to kind of keep that in mind, that we kind of are big players with our students going to college.
Well, this is the 3rd school year that the Know How to Go initiative has been going on here in St. Clair. Kind of results, and what kind of response have you seen so far?
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it's really been fun. Yeah, we just recently had a college application essay. She's part of what we call our Ask an Expert series. We hired Debbie Marion up from the Ann Arbor area. It's just a great night. The students and the parents sit next to each other, take the information in together. The students go off with a college application essay, you know, either like proofed or read or started or whatever. That's just one example. Last spring we had a high-level U of M person come in and do something on college night, and college and sports, and that was at a large high school here in St. Clair County, and we had almost 300 people attend the event, just getting information out to parents about what if your student wants to play sports in college, how does this all factor in, and of course academics are the most important thing, and those sort of things. It's been fun, just kind of responding to the requests and needs of parents and families.
Great. Well, like any other initiative, money is always an issue. How is this Know How to Go initiative funded here locally?
Well, it's funded on many different tiers, really. There's through the MCAM, which is the Michigan College Access Network, is one of the grant sponsors through that, which is a state part of initiative and grant. And then also through the St. Clair County Community Foundation, the Economic Development Alliance also. Both actually those organizations have made education a priority as far as their focus in assisting. And we also have other benefactors who have really started within the last, time frame, because of our 3 years in this, have really started saying, we want to get on board. We really like what you guys are doing, and how do we become a part of it?
So you're really becoming a model program for the state then?
Yeah, and actually we have spoken at different state events as far as our best practices and the things that we're doing here in St. Clair County. So it's really something to be proud of.
Well, that's great. Now I know in October we got a number of events coming up, especially helping kids get ready for the ACT, which it's probably a little more important than maybe what they put on in past years. What are some of the other events that you have going on?
Well, I want Gale to talk about the ACT prep because she takes the lead on this. But before she gets into that, on the 6th of October at Yale High School, and it just landed at Yale High School. It's for all the kids and parents countywide. But we have a recruiter coming from the University of Michigan, and we just kind of got lucky. She's actually the national recruiter for all of U of M, and not just the regional recruiter. So we kind of got somebody who's pretty up there. But what is nice about this is this would be something where instead of going to an information session at the University of Michigan, which all kids should do that, she'll be here. And so parents and students can sit together and take in this, versus when a college recruiter comes into the high schools and maybe sits during lunch or whatever with just the students. This is a situation where parents and whole families can go together. 6:30 Yale High School, October 6th. She's kind of a not to be missed, and she'll talk not just about U of M, which is really important, but how to get into any school or any selective school. She's going to be well worth going to Yale for.
Absolutely. And the ACT is really important in order for students to really get the best scores that they possibly can. It can open up opportunities for scholarships. It can also open up opportunities for students to really broaden the college selection options that might be available to them.
So these ACT prep programs that you're offering on Saturdays in October,
yes,
really could have some big benefits for these
Absolutely, and students should really take advantage of that because, again, the more prepared they are, it's like anything else. The more practice you have, the better you're going to do at it. So working on those test-taking skills and working in those content areas in order to improve your ACT scores is only going to be beneficial to the individual student and really an investment in themselves to do better for college.
Now this really, with the high school students, they take the MME, the Michigan Merit Exam, in the spring, in March. And the ACT is part of that. So that really helps them prepare that for that mandatory test that all juniors have to take too.
Absolutely. Right? And then if they're not happy with those scores, again, go ahead and prep and take the test again in order to see if you can boost your scores. On average, students can increase their scores maybe 1 or 2 points, which can make the difference.
Sure. Now I know, the programs are in October, and that's when the ACT preps are going. Are you going to be offering that again later in the school year? Someone didn't
yes,
get
again
into
in
the
January there'll be another session segment just designed the same way. We're looking at offering it in the Western area as well as again in SC4.
And I guess I should know too that our kids do earn a lot of scholarship money here in St. Clair County, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
So anything we can do to help push that would be great.
It's beneficial for them, yes.
Great. Now with your Know How to Go effort that we're doing locally, are you kind of mirroring what they're doing nationally, or each little chapter kind of do their own thing?
I would say yes and no. I mean, we're mirroring what the nation is doing and different states are doing in the sense that we're trying to create a college-going culture and that focus in our county here at St. Clair. But also, it's a matter of we're kind of curtailing the things that we're doing here on a local level as far as local need.
Yeah, I think that we reach out and ask the high school principals what they like that we have put forth for them to choose from, or what else they could use. We try to stay in close contact with the high school counselors and find out how we can help and support them. So really, I think our goal definitely is to make it as specific to St. Clair County as we possibly can. That's definitely what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Now, here we are in October. Fall of the year. Are there certain things kids should be doing now to prepare for college, especially if they're going in the fall or maybe they're juniors this year, that they, this time of year that they should be doing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they should be doing college visits if they're not sure where they want to go. That should have been done really last year in the 10th grade. Preparing now as far as looking at doing well on the ACT, for example, exploring different scholarship opportunities and those kinds of things that are out there and making sure that they're applying and seeing what the requirements are for different colleges that they're looking at. We also have our college survival kit, and students can really go on our website at www.secresa.org, and the Know How to Go emblem is there with information for the college survival kit, really how to create an organized system in order to kind of navigate through the timelines and processes that need to be addressed.
Well, this whole initiative to me, and even when we talked to Dr. Pollock in the earlier segment, really is fitting a real need for our county to get more people with a college education, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really important, not just for our county, for our country and for the state. Right now, statistically, we have 39% of the U.S. has beyond associate's degree or beyond as far as education. Canada only has 52%, so they're much higher than us. Japan has 54%, I believe, with the stats that President Obama gave us. So we need to get out there, and we need to not only do it for nationally for the state, but also bringing jobs and opportunities back here to St. Clair County.
Okay. Covered a lot of information. I know throughout the year you're going to be adding things, and you got activities and things that parents and their children can come to. Where is a good place for parents to get more information on what's going on?
We're working hard to make our website better and better, but the best place to always go, I think, will be to go to the St. Clair County RESA homepage. And then once you click on that, which is sccresa.org, or just search St. Clair County RESA, the homepage will come up, and on the right-hand bar, there is an orange box that says Know How to Go. And click on that, and from there the prompts for our events will show up. And as we talk to principals and things, for the most part, an event that's at one school, even though it seems like it's just Marine Cities or just belongs to KPAC or whatever, not necessarily. With this organization, we'd like people to feel free to kind of shop the whole menu and then make sure they register if that's necessary, and go to all of our events across the county.
Great. Well, ladies, we appreciate your time, and we just want to thank you for joining us in this edition of Dateline Schools. We'll see you again soon.